The chair of the National Transportation Safety Board slamming a defense bill making its way through Congress, saying it would make flying in and out of the nation's capital more dangerous.
One proposed change raising some major red flags, allowing military training flights back into DCA's airspace. You'll remember, less than a year ago, 67 people were killed in the mid-air collision between a U.S. Black Hawk helicopter and an American Airlines regional jet near Reagan National Airport.
Could there be another DCA-style crash of a civilian airplane? Well, if the fox guarding the henhouse strategy of the military is any indication, there may just be another one in our future, and it's got the head of the NTSB hopping mad. I want you to watch her video. It's going to run for 2 minutes. I'm going to come back afterwards, and I'm going to make comment to fill in all the blanks, but folks, you got to watch this one because they're trying to pull a fast one on us. Let's listen in.
Thank you for joining us. Again, I'm Jennifer Homendy, Chairwoman of the National Transportation Safety Board. I want to start by saying this is not something normally where we weigh in so strongly on legislation that is moving before the House and Senate. But given that the DCA investigation is really our agency's highest priority right now, we think it's important that we talk about what is happening with NDAA. So the NTSB vehemently opposes Section 373 of the National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA. This section, to the lay reader, is drafted to seemingly enhance safety. I want to be very clear that it does not in any way enhance safety. In fact, it reverses safety changes made after the mid-air collision, after issuance of our urgent safety recommendations, after the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, rightfully implemented our urgent safety recommendations and essentially gives the military unfettered access to the crowded and complex DC airspace. In fact, it would allow the secretary of any military department, generals, flag officials, to allow training missions in the DC airspace to take place without key safety reforms put in place after the January 29th mid-air collision. This is a significant safety setback. It represents an unacceptable risk to the flying public, to commercial and military aircraft crews, and to the residents in the region.
Okay. That's the essence of what she had to say, and I couldn't agree more. This is a courageous lady, right? She's the chairwoman of the NTSB, Jennifer Homendy, and she's talking about the National Defense Authorization Act. That's an act that comes up every year, basically refunds the military or gives them money for the next year. So she's talking about fiscal year 2026, the one that they're debating right now. It's one of these gigantic bills. There's a Senate version right now. It's like, 2,000 plus pages. Unbelievable how large these things are. And it's the sort of thing that everybody's going to vote yes for, mostly because they don't even know what's in it. It's just too big and you can't turn down the military. And so they're just going to vote for it. And the military snuck in this provision. Now, Section 373 is basically going to gut and undo all of the special flight rules that were put in place right after the DCA crash. What were those special flight rules? They're also contained in the Rotor Act. The Rotor Act hasn't passed yet, but the Rotor Act, Ted Cruz put that forward. The Rotor Act, I love it. The Rotor Act requires every military aircraft to not only have TCAST, but to have ADSB in and out. ADSB out is the key here. That's the mechanism that's going to let every other commercial airplane, in addition to every other military airplane now that will be required to have it, know exactly where your location is and your altitude and all of that. So that would have helped immensely to avoid the DCA crash. I think in addition to that, they need to require everybody to be on the same frequency. When you're in class B, C, or D airspace, you need to be on a VHF frequency, the same frequency that the commercial airliners are flying on, so everybody can hear everybody else talking. But this Section 373 is going to allow the Fox to guard the hen house. So what the military is trying to do with this is pull a fast one on all of us. And I think that the families of the victims of the DCA crash ought to get in front of a camera as fast as they possibly can and say, hey, we're opposed to Section 373 of the NDAA, and here's why. The reason being that they're going to get rid of ADSB out and they're going to replace it with TCAST. So they're going to require TCAST when you're in those spaces, but TCAST is not the same. TCAST below 1,000 feet won't give you nearly all of the warnings that it should. It won't give you a resolution advisory, for instance. So a resolution advisory is when you're getting too close to another airplane. It'll say climb or descend, but since it's below 1,000 feet, it won't give you that because it doesn't want to vector you into the ground. So it basically says, when you're below 1,000 feet, I'd like to give you an RA, but I can't because I don't want to cause more damage or more harm to this flight already. So you better look out and figure it out. So just getting a traffic alert is not enough. ADSB out is what you need. And the special flight rules that were enacted by Secretary Duffy and the others in coordination with the military are exactly what need to stay in place. There is absolutely no reason for military to be doing any sort of mission-related training inside of crowded commercial airspace around a major airport. There just isn't. And I'm speaking on authority of this. I was in the military for 29 years. I did a lot of these types of training missions. No significant training needs to get done inside of Class B, C, or D airspace, period, full stop, end of discussion. You can do your training outside of those crowded areas and get just as good a training as you would be if you're going to put your night vision goggles on and try to fly through in the middle of the night. And again, that Route 4, the first one that they eliminated for the military helicopters going through the DCA airspace, it allowed for 75 foot of separation over commercial traffic. 75 feet. That's nothing. And so it was right to get rid of that route first. This would allow, Section 373 would allow the military to waive themselves. So they could apply for a waiver and say, we're going to grant the waiver. And then the waiver would allow them to fly through these airspaces and conduct training just like they did prior to January 29th of this year, prior to the DCA incident. So TCAS is not a sufficient replacement for that. Allowing them to waive themselves is a huge mistake. I have never seen the head of the NTSB come out and do a press conference like this before, but this gal has got some courage, man. I love her for doing this because she needs to speak up. You need to speak up. I'm speaking up. That's what I love about social media and these platforms that we've got. We've got a platform to do good, and I told you a long time ago, we're going to continue to do good on this platform because we want to save lives. I don't care about what some military commander that sits in some plush office cares about anything at this point. I don't want them to have the ability to make a waiver that makes flying into DCA or any other major airport, for that matter, less safe for the general flying public. They can do their training someplace else and get it done. So this broad waiver authority that they're asking for needs to be stricken from this National Defense Authorization Act before it gets voted on. The only way it's going to get stricken is if they hear from you and they hear from me. And so I'm trying to get my voice out there in public, but you ought to pick up the phone, send a text, send an email, and say, enough is enough. We don't want the fox guarding the hen house in this regard. Put ADSB back in and stop with this nonsense of having a waiver that is contradictory to the safety concerns of the general public. All right, folks, that's kind of the nuts and bolts of this whole thing. I hope we have some impact on our lawmakers. They should listen to your voice. They should listen to my voice. We don't ever want to have a DCA-style crash happen again, and we certainly don't want to let Section 373 go forward in its present state. It will undo all the safety measures that were put in place back right after the crash on January 29th. Let him hear from you. Now you know. I'm Captain Steeeve. Fly safe. Well, if you're interested in seeing some more similar style videos, take a look at either one of these.